This video is made entirely for entertainment purposes. All references having to do with religion, theology, and mysticism are only done to speculate. This is a theory regarding a character in the Legend of Zelda series. It's just a theory. Have fun.
Hey guys, it's been another week and I have a pretty unique video to share with you all. Now, since you're probably wondering about the title of this video, let me share some insight about its background. Well, in the middle of my usual daily schedule between school, work, and not sleeping, I have stumbled across some unique videos, forums, and articles regarding the big bad himself, Ganondorf Dragmire. Now, before I bring up any kind of theology in this, let's take a brief look at the history of Ganondorf. Note, there will be spoilers to multiple Zelda games. The character known as Ganon first appeared in 1986 in the very first Legend of Zelda game, where an army led by Ganon, the Prince of Darkness, laid waste to the kingdom of Hyrule and stole the Triforce of Power and kidnapped Princess Zelda. In Link to the Past, Ganon's original name was revealed to be Ganondorf Dragmire, and it was also noted that he was originally a king of thieves who broke into the Sacred Realm to obtain the Triforce. In Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf was revealed to be a Gerudo male who deceived the king of Hyrule. He then later took over Hyrule for 7 years while taking the Triforce of Power until the Hero of Time defeated him. Now, that's the general history of Ganondorf. There are other Ganons and Ganondorfs such as the Twilight Princess and Wind Waker Ganondorfs, but those are follow-ups to the Ocarina of Time one, and they are pretty much dealt with by their own timeline iterations of Link and Zelda. But why is Ganondorf seemingly the main antagonist of the Legend of Zelda series? Well, to answer that question, we have to go to some Skyward Sword spoilers. In the ending of Skyward Sword, Demise gives a rather startling revelation. You fight like no man or demon I have ever known. Though this is not the end. My hate never perishes. It is born anew in a cycle with no end. I will rise again. Now, it is conjecture to say that Demise is a predecessor of Ganondorf. In fact, it is somewhat confirmed. In an interview with Aonuma, he hinted that Ganondorf's appearance in Ocarina of Time will be hinted in Skyward Sword. But what does this have anything to do with the real-world, dark concepts such as the devil or the Antichrist? And this is where I'm going to pull some Judeo-Christian references. Before I go on, these references are only used for the sake of this video. I do not mean to offend anyone. To bring you guys up to speed with the concept of an Antichrist, the Antichrist is a Christian concept which essentially means false messiah or the adversary of Christ. Well, if you would look at it in a broad sense, there are a lot of strange similarities between these references of the Antichrist with Ganondorf and Demise. For example, in Revelation 13 verse 2 and 3, which states, "And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the mouth of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." Now, granted, those descriptions regarding the beast, the Antichrist, the arch-deceiver, or any other names regarding it only identifies with Demise. However, there are other similarities regarding this dealing with Ganondorf. In the first Legend of Zelda game, Ganon was identified as the Prince of Darkness. In the poem Paradise Lost by John Milton, the title Prince of Darkness was used to identify Satan. And if that's not enough, let's take a closer look at one of the key plot points in Ocarina of Time. Ganondorf rules over Hyrule for 7 years. He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. And on a wing of the temple, he will set up an abomination that causes desolation, until the end that is decreed is poured out of him. As noted in this particular verse, the beast will reign for 7 years. When those 7 years have passed, peace will be restored to the world and a new reign of peace is established. Essentially, a reminiscent event does occur in Ocarina of Time. After the 7-year period, Link, the Hero of Time, ends Ganondorf's reign over Hyrule. In addition, let's talk about an overlooked detail regarding Ganondorf. Now, it is stated that Gerudo women flock to Hylian lands to look for potential mates. This is the implied explanation on how Gerudo reproduce. Now, Ganondorf's mothers have been stated to be both Koome and Kotake. Realistically speaking, they can't biologically be both Ganondorf's mothers. However, when they fuse together, they transform into Twin Rova. However, that still leaves the question, who is Ganondorf's father? Well, since Aonuma did give a subtle hint of Ganondorf's appearance in Ocarina of Time, it would be hinted in Skyward Sword, it is possible that Demise is Ganondorf's father, which would make Ganondorf the Gerudo incarnation of Demise. In short, Demise isn't so much as Ganondorf's father, so much as his predecessor. After all, Demise did promise that he would rise again. Now, Demise's backstory of attempting to obtain the Triforce only to be cast away and trapped by the earth below by the goddess Hyrule is reminiscent of Satan's fall from grace in John Milton's Paradise Lost, and Ganondorf may be the son of this dark figure, otherwise known as Hyrule's Antichrist. Now take that concept and apply it towards multiple Zelda games. In Four Sword Adventures, Princess Zelda says that he was the ancient demon reborn. In Twilight Princess, he practically claimed divinity, and in The Wind Waker, he was stabbed through the head by the Master Sword, which ended his rule. In Ocarina of Time, Ganondorf was persuasive enough to vow his allegiance towards the King of Hyrule only to betray him. In addition, his Ganon form does also fit in with the biblical descriptions of the beast. Could all these references and symbolism of Ganondorf point to him to be the Antichrist of the Legend of Zelda series? Not only that, but what about the second beast, also known as the False Prophet? The False Prophet acts as the Antichrist's confidant of sorts, whom shares the same level of authority and also helps bring the Antichrist into power. If you look in past games, Ganondorf has a host of different lieutenants. Onyx, the General of Darkness from Oracle of Seasons, Varan, the Sorceress of Shadows from Oracle of Ages, the Magician in Zelda 2, Aghanim the Dark Wizard in Link to the Past, the Helmarock King in Wind Waker, and Zant in Twilight Princess. And just like the False Prophet in the Book of Revelation, each one of Ganondorf's lieutenants bring Ganondorf up to power, whether it is to resurrect Ganondorf or to carry him to a position of power. Ganondorf and his many lieutenants across different games does give a striking similarity to the Antichrist and the False Prophet. Now, that is a lot of touchy subject matter I have just discussed. Now, does this mean that Nintendo deliberately wanted Ganondorf to have many characteristics towards a dark character in Abrahamic religions? Of course not. Any and all similarities could have just been placed to give Ganondorf a more menacing appeal. After all, he is the main antagonist of the Legend of Zelda series and personally one of my favorite video game characters of all time. All of the speculation and the similarities between Ganondorf and the Antichrist is simply speculation compiled in this theory. Now, before you get your torches and pitchforks to burn down my channel, if I offended anyone regarding this touchy topic, please note that I did not have this intention. I have the utmost respect towards others' beliefs and I did not mean to infringe on anyone. That being said, if you have anything to share about this particular topic, please comment below, it's only fair. Do you have something to share about this particular theory? Well then, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video. Also, this video is the first in a new series of Zelda theories. Truth be told, my Zelda news series is getting rather dry due to lack of news, so instead I will be going over some neat aspects regarding the Legend of Zelda series. In addition, I will let you, my loyal subscribers, decide on what will be the next Zelda theory. Next Monday's episode, coming on October 20th, will be either how does a hookshot work in real life, or a theory about the Shadow Temple. Comment below on which subject should I do. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Till then, this is the video of the day.
That's me.
Hey guys, it's me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I put a lot of effort into that one actually. Spent a couple of all-nighters. Anyways, I hope you really enjoyed it, and click on the Dancing Ganondorf here to see the latest podcast featuring Let's All Play and Treesicle. So this is going to be the first episode of the Zelda theory thing I'm going to be doing. This whole idea, I suppose, popped into my head a couple days before and I decided to go through with it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I can't wait to see you guys next Monday. This is going to be an every Monday thing, same thing with the Zelda news series I did before. So I hope you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the Dancing Ganondorf.